The mystery of Jesus' lost years in Egypt. The hot golden sands of Egypt stretched far and wide, bathing the landscape in the warm glow of the midday sun. Somewhere between the towering pyramids and the bustling cities of Alexandria and Thebes, an enigmatic boy walked in silence alongside his family, far from the safety of his homeland. This boy was Jesus of Nazareth, and these were the lost years, the years that the Bible says little about, the years cloaked in mystery, speculation, and wonder. When Jesus was just a child, a sudden turn of fate sent his family on a dangerous journey. Fleeing from King Herod, who sought to kill the young boy prophesied to become the Messiah, Joseph and Mary left behind everything they knew, journeying into Egypt to escape Herod's wrath. What happened next, during Jesus' time in Egypt, has been the subject of much debate, with only fragmented clues scattered through history. Many imagine young Jesus, not much older than a toddler, staring wide-eyed at the splendors of ancient Egypt. The towering temples of Luxor, the massive stone statues of pharaohs, and the sprawling palaces of the Egyptian elite would have left any child mesmerized. Egypt was a land of magic, mystery, and powerful gods, a place where knowledge of the heavens and the earth was held in great esteem. But what if there was more to Jesus' time in Egypt than mere survival? As the years passed, Jesus grew older, and his curiosity about the world around him only deepened. Egypt wasn't just a land of refuge, it was a land of learning. The ancient Egyptians were among the most advanced civilizations of their time, their knowledge of astronomy, medicine, and mathematics unparalleled. Their priests and scholars were custodians of ancient mysteries, the kind that transcended time and human understanding. Some accounts suggest that Jesus may have come into contact with this knowledge, studying with mystics, priests, and sages during his formative years. In Alexandria, a city known for its vast libraries and intellectual communities, Jesus could have encountered the great teachings of the philosophers, the mystics, and the ancient religions that shaped humanity's understanding of the universe. There, he might have absorbed ideas that would later shape his own ministry. Ideas about the interconnectedness of all life, the power of the divine, and the mysteries of the cosmos. One particularly intriguing theory posits that Jesus may have studied with the Essenes, a Jewish sect known for their ascetic lifestyle and mystical teachings. The Essenes were believed to have had a strong presence in Egypt, where they lived in isolated communities, devoted to prayer, meditation, and the study of sacred texts. It is said that they believed in the coming of a Messiah and the end of days, ideas that would have aligned with Jesus' future mission. As Jesus grew, he would have seen how the Egyptian people worshipped their gods, gods who embodied the forces of nature and the mysteries of life and death. He would have walked the same streets where Cleopatra and the pharaohs once ruled, seen the hieroglyphics etched into the walls of temples, and possibly even stood before the Great Sphinx, contemplating its meaning. These experiences would have offered a young boy like Jesus a profound understanding of the human soul, the divine, and the eternal mysteries of life. But despite the knowledge and wisdom Egypt offered, Jesus remained connected to his roots. As he transitioned from childhood to adolescence, the pull of his true mission, his divine purpose, grew stronger. While Egypt provided refuge and perhaps even a certain type of education, Jesus' heart was bound to his calling. These lost years, however cloaked in mystery, were shaping the man who would one day preach to the multitudes, heal the sick, and speak of the kingdom of heaven. After several years in Egypt, the time came for Jesus and his family to return to their homeland. The death of Herod allowed them to journey back to Nazareth, where Jesus would live out his remaining years before beginning his public ministry. But Egypt had left its mark. Whether through the ancient wisdom he may have encountered, the mystical teachings he absorbed, or the deepening of his divine connection, Egypt was part of Jesus' formative journey. The land of the pyramids had sheltered him, and perhaps guided him in ways we may never fully understand. By the time Jesus returned to Nazareth, he was no longer a child. He had walked the land of pharaohs, experienced the mysteries of one of the world's oldest civilizations, and perhaps even come into contact with the divine wisdom that would later influence his teachings. As the Bible falls silent about these years, what Jesus learned or experienced during his time in Egypt remains one of the greatest mysteries of his life. The missing years, particularly the lost years in Egypt, continue to intrigue historians, theologians, and believers alike.